Afternoon. As you can see, we made it in. I made it and I'm about to get started. This is pull it out for y'all now so y'all can see. Goods and services. Right here, we're gonna show some of the goods and services, right? Goods and services, right? Y'all know about the CMOS. Right? Can y'all see the CMOS? I'll leave the CMOS right here. Goods and services, right? I want to jump on StreamYard now. But pop on in. Pop on in. We're not going to stay on that long. I really just want to come in and show the growth today. You know, that's basically what this live is about. Ran around, got a couple of Instacart orders in. Really ready to go home and watch these fights. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Damn, I might have to run and grab a pencil. But we'll do that at a later date. At a later date. But how's everybody doing on this Saturday? We got fights on tonight. Yes, top of the afternoon. You know the vibes. This is the Source Experience. The news. Bashar News. There it is right there. Boxing is where it's at, right? Internet boxing. My perspective on internet boxing has not changed. I feel that most content creators, look, I said most, not all, but most content creators have a what? Crab in a bucket mentality. They have a bottom feeders mentality. And when that is your mentality as a content creator, and you really don't offer no goods or services, especially in boxing, only thing you're gonna do is pollute the game. And that's what we are witnessing in boxing. YTC Boxing Conversations is at an ultimate turnoff. You have content creators with no motion. But unfortunately, right, like I said, unfortunately, these content creators with no motion, they're not growing. Not only are they not growing, they have polluted the YTC at a alarming rate. And the alarming rate has so many other content creators comfortable with being crabs, comfortable with being bottom feeders, right? Now, when you are a crab and a bottom feeder, sometimes if you don't realize it, you think it's the norm. You think it's the norm, right? But that's why I said I wanted to talk about goods and services. What goods and services do you offer? What goods and services do you offer on boxing? Since we're talking about boxing, because I know a lot of content creators do absolutely nothing in boxing. Because if you're only goods and services in the boxing is being a content creator, you offer absolutely nothing. Not only do you not offer nothing, you are part of what I like to call the crab in the barrel, the bottom feeder syndrome, right? Now, for 6 years, I've been on YouTube in disguise. Well, really not in disguise, because I remember, shout out to my man in the chat right here, right? World Combat Sports, one of a guy who has many goods and services that he offers in boxing, right? Did a interview with a fighter who was going into his 14th fight, August 17th. And he told y'all about my goods and services way back then. But yet I came on a YTC and I was still disrespected because of a lot of you guys' affiliation, or not, it's not even affiliation, your infatuation with a dishonorable piece of shit, right? But that's neither here nor there, right? But since I'm speaking on, I'm gonna break it down good for y'all, right? So Jihad put it out there, some of my goods and services in boxing back then, right? I was making a transition then. But you guys, a lot of you guys who, like I said, crab in the barrel mentality, nothing going on in boxing other than content creating, coming on the internet, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and just, talking or typing or whatever you do, however you get your message out, right? Felt like you were relevant because of this, right? But at the end of the day, you offer no goods and services. You're not media, right? You don't go to fights. You don't cover fights. All you do is come online, sit online, and discuss topics. So if that is your goods and services, and the reason why I'm saying that, because look, I have multiple goods and services, just not boxing. Boxing, we have been growing, but goods and services, CMOS, different goods and services. What do you offer in boxing? Because content creating is not it right now. We get to see that, right? And I'm gonna point out a lot of names today and show how being a content creator, if that's your goods and services, you're obsolete in the game. You don't really move the needle, because some of the biggest content creators, boxing content creators, have no growth. Literally, no growth. Right? But what do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table as a content creator, other than talking about topics or pushing narratives, right? You have to bring something to the table, something of substance. Like I like to say, sauce. What ingredient do you add to the sauce? Content creating is not an ingredient. That is just you coming on here discussing a topic, right? But since we're discussing topics, let's discuss this topic. We are 2 days away from the T-Mobile massacre. And I want to point this out, right? Shout out to T-Bud, Terrence Crawford. The trajectory of those two guys that fought that fight, Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. Now, to some of you guys who are having nervous breakdowns because you were part of the crab in the barrel syndrome, right? The trajectory has went this way and that way, right? But if you really think about it, Earl Spence was always turned down, whereas Terrence Crawford was always turned up. Now I'm going to break this down for you real quick, because I only got 2 people in here. And I know the 2 people that's probably in here, they really listen. So I'm going to break this down before the rest of you try to come in here and run with the source, right? Now, when you think about the trajectory, it seems that Terrence Crawford has skyrocketed since then. No, Terrence Crawford was always moving forward, moving up. Earl Spence was always moving down. And the reason why he was always moving down is because people like the crab in the buckets, content creators that bring nothing to the table, were always pushing false narratives about these particular 2 guys, Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence. Terrence Crawford was always depicted as what? Dumb, unapproachable, hard to work with, all these things, right? Whereas Earl Spence was everything the opposite. Earl Spence was likable, he was winning, he was the best, the biggest, all the opposites. But in all actuality, Earl Spence was not none of those things that was portrayed of him. He, as we've seen in I'm not gonna pull it up because I don't want my video to get flagged. I won that appeal. Earl Spence was uninformed of his own contracts. But yet the narrative on the YTC, the crab in the bucket, chitter chatter, was that Terrence Crawford was dumb. But yet the dumb fighter put the fighter who was supposed to be everything opposite onto, you don't know about your contract, you don't know this, you don't know that. But yet the narrative of Earl Spence was this way. It should have been this way instead of it being this way. And that's what we are seeing now. Terrence Crawford, the guy who was hard to work with, negotiating in bad faith, not only has the plug, right? Because now we see who's the boxing plug. It's two people in here. Before I go on, if one of you guys want to answer this, who's the boxing plug right now? Who's the plug? Before I, keep kicking it. Look, I got notes here, but I don't have my pen. So, I'm kind of freestyling, but I'm not freestyling. Who's the boxing plug right now? It's not Al Heyman, man. I'll help y'all out with that. It's definitely not Al Heyman. Hasn't been Al Heyman for quite some time now. The trust fund done ran out. It's not Al Heyman. But who's the boxing plug right now, man? What's they said? Glacier. The boxing plug. WCS is being funny. The boxing plug is Turk Al-Sheikh. He's the faucet right now, what we like to call a faucet in the business world. He's laying the golden eggs, right? Who is his ambassador, basically? Terrence Bud Crawford, the guy who did bad business, but yet he has the connect. Now, if we talking in street terminology, but this is all legal. If we're talking in street terminology, Terrence Crawford has the plug. He has the supplier. He's getting the creme de la creme, goods and services, right? Now, this is the guy who was dumb, right? Who does Earl Spence have right now, y'all? Who does Earl Spence have right now? Well, I'm gonna get to that, WCS. Great point. Who does Earl Spence have? Earl Spence has Al Heyman. Al Heyman had a new deal with Amazon Prime, but they didn't even want him at the table. Al Heyman has a whole bunch of guys who are systematically being left out. They're being left out. Everybody else has came to the table with the plug. Golden Boy, Top Rank, Matchroom, Queensberry, but yet not the PBC. And why is that? So you mean to tell me the guy that did, like WCS's comment says, that did bad business lands the plug. Not only does he land the plug, he is the ambassador of the Riyadh season in the United States. Now, the guy who was the biggest, right? You had all these content creators, the Fanons, the Barbershop Conversations, the Egos, Blue Blood, BF, many LDBC channels pushing the narrative that Earl Spence was the biggest. He was all of these things. Earl Spence now is seemingly making headlines for what? Gimmicks, right? I'm going to speak on this now, but I did not report on it. Remember, the fight with Fondor is off. This is the shenanigans that his career has been based upon now. False reports that, get him in an algorithm. Later, somebody to come out and say, oh, that's a lie. That's a lie. But this has been the pattern with this guy. And I can speak on this. You know why I can speak on this? Because now I'm going to run down some of my goods and services, right? Many years ago, right? Before my nephew, a young 17-year-old with honor, right? With honor, right? Went on and told the world, told numerous platforms, told Ellie Setback, many people who I am and what I do, right? I did a lot of these things for other people. For other people. Not only did I do these things at a high frequency, I did it pro bono. Right? When watch me run down my credentials for y'all, goods and services, right? Do y'all remember when Earl Spence fought Leonard Bondu, right? He fought Leonard Bondu in Coney Island, the amphitheater, right? Little nice little venue, right? You know who helped to market that fight? You know who helped to sell a lot of tickets for that fight? Me. You know who came up with all kind of slogans and schemes and things? Me. Yeah. But you have other content creators that come on here, right, with no motion. When they thought by ignoring my motion, right, or trying to push their way into it, and seemingly knowing that they done nothing, right, would erase or ignore the stuff that I did. But we fast forwarded, Jihad Tucker is way bigger than Earl Spence. See, you guys ain't gonna want to admit it, but the proof is in the pudding, right? I think Jihad is going into his 14th fight. He's about to fight in Canada, internationally. 14 fights. And not to mention he has a loss on his record, and he still was able to do this. So a lot of times when you overlook what people actually do, goods and services, right? Right? Remember, because when I first came on the internet, they depicted lies about me. I was mad. What was it? I couldn't come to the gym. That's why, if you notice now, I love to show videos of me in the gym, not only looking like a professional, nice with these, but I just love to show that because I've been in gyms my whole life. So that was one of the biggest turnoffs, to say that about me, that I'm mad I can't go to the gym. Now, sometimes I don't want to go to the gym because I've been in gyms my whole life. So that was one of the biggest turnoffs from those dishonorable snakes, right? But then they talked about my equipment. But as you can see now, God damn, is my equipment nice? How am I sounding? Do I sound good? Right? But that's neither here nor there either. But back to what I was saying, like when you learn goods and services and things that you do, right? And then people lie on you, right? But, it just sticks with you, right? Because it's just like this media shit, right? And I want to say shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation, right? Dante's Boxing Nation got me into this. Because a quick story on this, right? I talked about it before, but I'll break it down even more now. We was at the Lamont Peterson and Earl Spence presser. See, I've been doing these things, right? I was at the Lamont Peterson and Earl Spence presser when Earl Spence first defended his IBF title at the Barclays Center. Now, Dante's Boxing Nation was in there, along with a whole other YouTube media, official dudes, right? A lot of these guys that you idol worship now, they was not there. I was there, I know. Trust and believe this, I know. So I'm in the room, right? I'm Jackal Fitness at the time, but I'm not media. I just, I'm running around with my phone, right? So Ron Artest, Robert Easter, all these guys is in there. And Dante's Boxing Nation's in there, right? Dante's Boxing Nation is seeing me get in with all of these people, right? So he comes up to me and he asks me, what do I do? He's like, yo, everybody in the room, man. Everybody's chopping it up with you. He was like, yo, that's Ron Artest, man. You and Ron Artest was over there kicking it for a minute. I was like, yeah, Ron from Queensbridge. He was like, what do you do? This is the true story. I said, I want to do what you do, right? This, you know me. If you know me, you know me, right? I said, I want to do what you do, man. I got a phone because he had the phone and the hit stick, and he was the man. One thing I don't front on people. Dante's Boxing Nation was the man. He walked away from boxing. He does other things now. But he was the man. I said, yo, I want to do what you do, man. And he was like, yo, you can. He said, yo, shit, it'll be easy for you. Everybody knows you. He was like, everybody knows you. But we was all kicking it at the Depressor. That's a true story, right? And now look what I went on to do, right? But shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation, right? But I say that because, I was behind the scenes learning, yeah. Right? Real talk. See, a lot of you guys don't offer no goods and services. You have nothing going on. But yeah, you come on the internet and you talk about people that really have things going on. And you can't show us nothing that you do in boxing, let alone in life. Let that soak in. Let that soak in, right? Let that soak in. While that soaks in, let me plug Jihad Tucker again. August 17th, 21-year-old will be making his Canadian international debut at 21 years old. I made a statement, and I said that he's bigger than Earl Spence, and I stand on that. And the reason why he's bigger than Earl Spence, and I'm going to break this down, I don't even think Earl Spence was pro yet. I had to sip on that kickstart. I think I kickstarted this live, right? Now, was Earl Spence pro at 21? He might have just turned pro. I don't know, maybe 22, because he went to the Olympics. He was kind of old. Not only has Jihad Tucker been a pro before 21, he turned pro at 17 underneath the bright lights. I think Earl Spence didn't start boxing until he was 16. So when I make these statements, it's up for debate, if you guys want to debate it. But make sure you mention my name. A lot of y'all don't like mentioning my name for various reasons, I understand. But like I said, Jihad Tucker is way bigger than him. And his younger brother, another one of my guys, right, is probably going to be bigger than both of them. But hey, what do I know, man? What do I know, man? I just wanted to come in here and kick it real quick. Close out the week in style, man. Cause they was trying to shut me down, bro. They really tried to shut me down. They didn't want me going live. And I don't know, man. This internet shit is tricky. Like I said, just don't watch me. You don't have to watch me, please, by all means. You don't have to. I told y'all that 6 years ago, man. I was like, I figured this out a long time ago. Well, that's why, the new slogan is, you do have options. You have options. And it's cool when they do it. Goods and services, though. This right here, man, I don't really like bringing this in. I don't really like bringing this in. You see it right there? Y'all see it right there? This has an aroma. It's all legal, though. It's all legal. But it has an aroma to it. You can get this. These are the goods and services, man. You can get the seamless. I just left the gym. Joe Dini and my guy Broadway got some of this. Those are my guys, right? Those are my guys, man. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and just chop it up. You know what I'll do? I don't have my other phone with me, man. I was running around. I left my other phone on the charger. And I hope I'm not getting no pulling calls on that. So I'm not gonna really stay on too long. But I did make a little announcement. I am official, but I'm just waiting on a couple more things. And I'll tell you what, I was gonna wait till 2025, But I was advised, you see what I said? Advised, right? Because we all have advisors too. I was advised, like, nah, bro, you need to get out there now. Because I was like, I'll do it in 2025. And it was like, nope, Shalom, you're going to do it now. So the kind of the announcement has already been announced. But, 2025, I'm looking to have many states, especially on the East Coast. Because I'm an East Coast guy. But I have the Vegas capital already. What is, for those of y'all that's in here, one over here, one over here, do you know what the Vegas fight capital is? What's the fight I said, damn. What is the West Coast capital for fights? Well, I said it, man, there. But what is the West Coast fight capital, right? The West Coast fight capital, man. Like where does a lot of the action take place for the fight game in the West Coast? Either one, it's people on both sides, so feel free. You can hear what I'm talking about. You can hear and see what I'm talking about. What is the fight capital, right? Let's look it up. We'll look it up. Since nobody wants to talk, I'll look it up. Oh, look. All right, I'm going to blow it up, right? Now, look what I typed in, right? Share the screen. Captain Chaos said Vegas. That is correct. And I'm going to show you why that is correct. Captain Chaos, right? That is correct. Look what came up. Look what came up, right? Can y'all see that on what's the name? Chaos wins the prize, right? Captain Chaos says Vegas. Now, when I type that in, Las Vegas has been known as the fight capital of the world for decades due to its vibrant history. Now, if I told you that I was a licensed manager in Nevada, which is located in Vegas, would you believe me? I am a licensed manager in the fight capital, because the fight capital is where? Las Vegas, Nevada. I am officially a licensed manager in the state of Nevada. I have a license number. If I reach out to some matchmakers that are putting on shows in Nevada, right? Las Vegas is Nevada, Reno, wherever. And I say and I'm going to use my boy, right? If I say I have my guy Raymond Brown, I represent Raymond Brown. I see you are putting on a card in Las Vegas. Raymond Brown, my guy. We're willing to take this fight. We see you have some dates. Are you looking for opponents? My guy, Raymond Brown. And this is what I would do. I would send over some footage. Also, I would run down Raymond's credentials to try to get on a possible card with the matchmakers or promoters. This is what I do as a manager. This is what I do. And I could do this legally in the state of Nevada, which is, Las Vegas is the fight capital. These are all facts. Now, if you pay attention, 5 years ago, Jihad Tucker basically said that I was already doing that. But I was doing that not officially licensed. Now I am licensed, right? Because whenever you make a phone call for a fighter, right? If you set up sparring for a fighter, if you are overall helping to market a fighter, promote a fighter, these are all things that managers do. Do you guys know that or no? What goods and services do you guys offer other than being a content creator or a turned down boxing fan in boxing? Like, what goods or services do you offer? Now, me, like I just said, I've been doing this for quite some time. But now I am official with paperwork, official license. But yes, Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada is the fight capital. A lot of fights go on there. But like I said, I'm not a West Coast guy. But don't worry. In a second, I will have multiple East Coast states. I already have a network of people that I know up and down the East Coast. Other managers and, fighters and, people like that. So this is the transition. And the announcement is here now, Goods and services. What do you offer? So, and I say this to say this, right? A lot of you guys who burned bridges with me when you thought I was a content creator, like a lot of you other YouTube content creators, please, by all means, continue to attempt to burn those bridges. But just know that I have built some heavy bridges, strong bridges with powerful people. Because not only do I do management things, right? I also have my own media company, right? Where my media company not only puts out quality content for fighters, we do photography work, we also cover fights, we come up with marketing slogans and marketing schemes as seen all over the game, right? One of my marketing schemes has been all over the networks. Team spent so it doesn't make sense. But yet, when, those people, not only did they not pay me, right? But see, God has paid me. The universe has paid me. But see, if they was honorable, right? Sometimes you don't have to pay people, right? But when you have no honor and then you try to discredit and lie on people who not only multitask, are brilliant, borderline genius, they will do it all over again. And like I said, they will do it all over even bigger. Jihad Tucker is bigger than Earl Spence. Who wants to debate it? I will put my link in the chat. But please, if you're going to debate it with some stats. Because the stats that I just ran off, I don't think you can even click the link, right? Earl Spence didn't start boxing until he was 16 years old. By the time Jihad Tucker was 17, not only was he signed the top rank, he was fighting underneath the bright lights. Earl Spence did not turn pro till he was about 21, 22 years old. August 17th, Jihad Tucker will be having his 14th fight internationally in Canada, Quebec City, Parlez-vous Français. This is a whole nother genre. Goods and services. What do you guys offer in boxing other than coming on here, being content creators with no motion, turned down fans that don't even support it? The news. Bashar News. This is just one of my things that I do. But hey, what do I know, man? What do I know? Content, right? Kickstart, Mountain Dew. I reached out to them too, man. We ain't big enough yet, but we'll get there. Let's see what I always say, we'll get there. And a lot of these guys that I reach out to that, look me over and look past me, I remember that, man. King Richard Source, right? King Richard Source, right? And a lot of these guys that I'm reaching out to now, right? You know who I reach out to them for? Not even Jihad. Because I've been honest with you. A lot of y'all can't afford Jihad right now. I'm reaching out for Marley. Marley is 14, four-time defending, well, not defending, we just caught a little hiccup, but it's all good. Four-time national champion already. So a lot of these companies now that I reach out to, I'm reaching out for Marley. Because to be honest, I told you guys to get with Jihad years ago. You guys, a lot of you guys can't afford his services right now. You know, because the asking price has went up. Remember, you guys were sitting there laughing, right? You guys were laughing. And shout out to Jihad. Jihad and them are down there in Houston right now preparing. They arrived yesterday. He has a lot of good sparring set up already. Um, Hopefully, well, we know we're not going to run into those guys, but I did see content and people put out that Jamel Charlo is popping his head back out. Charlo, we're in Houston. You know, we're up for some work. You are a decorated former undisputed champion. We'd love to test our skills. You know, you do have options. You know, we did have some work set up with another Ronnie Shields fighter, but he's back in Jersey preparing for his fight. Vito. You know, Vito Menelecki, he's signed with Top Rank now, too. He's signed with Top Rank, too. But listen, I am going to shut down this one because I think, you know, the behind the source views. So in order to continue watching, you're gonna have to come over here now to StreamYard because I think I did enough with the behind the source, right? Views, right? Remember, goods and services. If you're gonna talk shit about people, make sure that you have products, make sure you have growth, make sure you can show your growth, right? One thing about me, not only can I show it, look, I went from a cubicle to a whole office right here, man. I can get up and walk around and do my thing. And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing my thing, man. But come over to the actual StreamYard now because I'm going to shut the behind the scenes down now because I still need this phone. Like I told you, I left my other phone and I don't want to miss out on no pertinent calls. You know, you do have options. This is the news by Shaw News. You know, you do have options. Nice microphone too.